Hi everyone, today we'll cover the pronunciation differences in Thuɔŋjäng dialects. In a previous episode, I've walked through a brief history of the Thuɔŋjäng. So if you haven't watched that, I recommend that you go take a look at that video before you dive into this one. Thoŋjäng comprises four main dialect groupings. One is Rek, 2 Padang, 3 Bor, and 4 Agar. Now, this is not to simplify that Thuɔŋjäng or Thuɔŋjäng only comprises these four groups. This is to denote that these four groups were the groups that the missionaries or the Bible was translated into. Within Rek, there could be variants in different dialect and speech. Within Padang, there will be differences. Within Bor, within Agar, these dialect groups can still be divided into even further divisions. So this is just to simplify that these are the main four groupings based on the dialects. And then these distinct differences that I'll talk today about divide the dialect more into just two groupings. The groups that will pronounce certain words as in a certain way, and then another group will pronounce certain words in a certain way. For example, ki and chi, as in kir, chir for river. Another group will say quin or chwin for food. Another group will say guir or juir to mean arrange. Another group says ngich. Another group says nyich to mean to know. Another group will say wheat. Another group says yuit to mean to wrestle. Now the interesting thing is that speakers who tend to pronounce K as in kir will also say quin, will also say guir, will also say ngich, will also say wheat. And then speakers on the other side that pronounce river as chir will also pronounce food as in chwin, to arrange as in juir, to know as in nyich, to wrestle as in yuit. So how do we reconcile all these differences in how different dialects pronounce and write their own words? DILDA, which is the Dinka Language Development Association, is a body that is tasked with unifying Thuɔŋjäng or Thuɔŋjäng into one written form. So despite how different dialects speak, all dialects can at least write in the same way and then pronounce the words in the respective dialect. In the next slides, I'll walk you through the different words that divide these groups into two, and then what DILDA recommends for writing. Words with ka or cha: kier, kier, chier, chier, small cowbells. Kiech, kiech, chech, chech. Kiet, kiet, chiet, chiet, scorpion. Kieu, kieu, chieu, chieu, shout. Kir, kir, chir, chir, river. Kir, kir, chir, chir, it's a kind of a tree. Kill, kill, chill, chill, rhino. Kit, kit, cheat, cheat, color. Q, Q, chew, chew, bellow of cattle. Quell, quell, chuel, chuel, It's a rope made of animal skin. Queen, queen, chewin, chewin. It's a baked maize flour or food. DILDA recommends using ka for writing, but use whatever your dialect dictates for pronunciation. And then words with ga or ja. Get, 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 get. Picture. Gier, 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 gier. It's a type of tree. Gier, 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 gier. Shoulder blade. Gir, 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 gir. Storm. Geeth, 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 geeth. To remove something quickly. Gwir, gwir, juir, juir. To prepare. Gwit, 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 gwit. To suck. Again, DILDA recommends using ga in writing, but whatever your dialect dictates when pronouncing it. And then words that can be spoken as nga or nya. Ngit, ngit, nich, nich. To know. Ngir, 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 ngir. To cut. Ngir, 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 ngir. Smell of perfume. Here again, DILDA recommends using nga in writing, but pronounce it in whatever way your dialect dictates. And then lastly, we'll look at words that can be pronounced with wa or you. Which, 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 which. To want something. Will, 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 will. New moon. Weir, 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 weir. Cold weather. Wheat, 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 wheat. To wrestle. With, 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 with. It's an arrow or bullet. Here, DILDA also recommends using wa in writing, but use whatever your dialect dictates when pronouncing words. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of this chapter. Please comment below with what dialect you use to pronounce words. Bye bye and see you guys next time.